Happy Thanksgiving. Big Deke news. First off, happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate all you guys for the support. Thank you for following, listening to me yap about the Steelers. It means a lot. You guys make it fun. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say that on a day like today. Second thing, the hat business is booming. I appreciate you guys, man. We just dropped the link yesterday, and we got some orders flowing in. You guys ain't messing around. I guess the message is resonating. So if you want a hat like this, non-losing season champions hat, white on black, there's also the Pittsburgh gold on black. The link is below, down in the description, pinned in the comments. We got the shop up. We got the hats live. Caveat, like I said in yesterday's show, just want to give you guys a heads up. The hats aren't exactly like the one I have on right now because this is a trucker, the hats that are being sold. It's just not a trucker hat. Same exact thing, though, pretty much. A-frame, all black, snapback, high-quality hat, just not a trucker. So if you want to wait until I get, because I haven't had the actual hats in just yet for me, so if you want to wait until I get that sample, should be sometime early next week, you could do that. But if you're chomping at the bit and just want to get the hat in your hands as soon as possible, you could do that too. But I just wanted to throw that caveat out there as a reminder. But yeah, that's it for the opening stuff to talk about here, the intro. Let's get into some Steelers stuff. First, Aaron Rodgers. It's looking like he's trending towards playing, but like some of his answers didn't make me too confident because he was talking about not being able to take snaps last week under center.
With the cast, you mean? There's limitations for sure, but that's for safety.
Last week you talked about wanting to be able to take snaps under center. Where are you kind of in that process? Do you feel more ready to do that this week?
Not today.
Which is kind of a big deal. It's funny because he still wanted to play. I'm sure we would have done more shotgun. We would have done some pistol stuff. But the fact that we sat him after hearing Rodgers say that he couldn't take snaps under center, I actually don't blame Tomlin for that decision because I think that does sort of limit your offense in a way. No, I don't blame Rodgers for wanting to play and feeling like he should have been out there, especially against a team that he owns like the Bears. But actually, yeah, sitting him wasn't the worst idea, especially with how Mason played in the second half of that Bengals game. Now, obviously, hindsight's 2020. We didn't win with Mason. Maybe we would have been better with Rodgers not being able to take snaps under center and in the pistol and shotgun more. But then you hear him talking, and all the reports leading up to this week in this Bills game were saying, oh, Rodgers is going to play. He's really likely to play. But it seems like he's still having some of those problems. Like, it's not fully there just yet. So we'll wait and see. I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, I want Rodgers to play now. It's funny how my tune has changed from last week after seeing Mason against the Bears. But maybe Mason at home, though. Maybe Mason at home could be a little bit different. Backs up against the wall. Fan base is at kind of an all-time low in terms of vibes and energy. And remember what happened last time when Mason got a start at home when that was the case. Bengals game. Save Christmas, 2023. Don't forget. But a couple other things I wanted to talk about. These are more just like bar type of conversations, like talks that you would have with your buddies at a bar or over someone's house over some beers. Kay Adams was talking about George Pickens and the Cowboys on her Up and Adams show and mentioned that the Pickens trade, from a Steelers standpoint, may go down as one of the worst in NFL history.
Trading George Pickens is probably going to go down as one of the worst deals in NFL history. And I mean that. And I'm sorry to the Steelers. I just think it's true. And, the best from a Dallas perspective, like what a haul. It is so clear. It is so glaringly obvious watching George Pickens last night, a day after Kenneth Gainwell led Pittsburgh in receiving against the Bengals. This is clearly a bad call by the Steelers.
And that got me thinking, to say one of the worst in NFL history already, that's a stretch. I could see it trending in that direction if Pickens keeps his play up like this. But it's just way too early. You still got to see what the rest of Pickens' career looks like, what the Steelers do from 2026 and going forward. What do they do with the third-round pick that we got from Pickens? Like, that all needs to be factored in. And the fact, too, there's a lot of bad trades that are in probably the top 4 or 5 of all-time worst in NFL history that I don't know if it's really possible to top. The Herschel Walker one, like, that's egregious. I had to actually look it up for myself before pressing record here because I know a lot of people talk about the Herschel Walker trade and how bad it was and how it propelled the Cowboys dynasty of the 90s, and Walker really wasn't the same with the Vikings and after he moved on from the Cowboys. But you add the fact what the Vikings gave up to get him, it's insane. It was 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, like more late-round, absolutely insane. And Herschel Walker was just like an above-average running back for the Vikings. And Cowboys obviously used all those picks and assets and built their team up for the 90. I don't think anything's beating that. Now, that's number one. Kay did say one of the worst. But Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, them giving him that contract and what they gave up to get him and how he played, like, that was awful. That's got to be one of the tops. Deshaun Watson to the Browns. Like, that's 3 right there. I don't think it's possible for this Pickens trade to top. So maybe top 5, top 10 eventually if Pickens keeps balling out and we're never able to find a wide receiver 2 in the future, then sure. But I think we got to pump the brakes on NFL history talk right now. Not trending in a good direction, though. Don't get me wrong. But I also started to think, what about the worst trade in Steelers history? Would that be a stretch? And I thought about it, did some research, and I don't know. It's probably up there already. It's probably up there in the top 2 or 3 for Steelers history because you could bring up the Devin Bush trade up. We traded up to the top 10 to get Devin Bush, and obviously he flopped for us. That was bad. But all the other ones I'm seeing, it's like us giving up a late-round pick for a guy that was a bust. It's not like anything that egregious. Now, maybe you could bring up the AB trade. We traded AB for a third-rounder. AB in his prime was still like the best receiver in the league. But I don't think that was our desire to do. That was just AB being a malcontent and being reckless and making things awkward and bringing drama here, saying he wanted out, like he wasn't going to play here anymore. Like, he kind of forced our hands. So there was, do we consider that like a bad trade for the city? He tanked his trade value. You know, it's not like we could have got a couple first rounders for him. He hurt our leverage with how he handled it. But I think you would have to put Pickens in the conversation already. I think you would, even with how short of a time it's been since we traded Pickens. Like, it's looking bad. It's definitely looking bad. Considering, too, that we traded Pickens on the end of his rookie deal where he was still on the roster. We didn't have to pay him. We could have at least saw this season out with Pickens on the final year of his rookie deal. And then if we wanted to let him walk, franchise tag him, do whatever after, we could have done that. There was just no rush to trade him, especially after the draft, after free agency. The only way you were going to be able to trade Pickens would be a future pick, or if you got a player in return. Obviously, we didn't get a player in return. We got a future pick, nothing that's helping us for 2025. So it's looking bad. It's definitely looking bad. We get the reasoning of the trade, addition through subtraction, Pickens, locker room drama, chemistry issues, all that stuff. But with where we're at right now, we already have that stuff, it seems like. We already have the energy down and the vibes are down in the locker room, and we're 6-5. I don't think Pickens would have really done much worse than what we're dealing with right now. But at least he could have provided us something on offense, some production on the field. Probably be our wide receiver 1 with how DK's playing. Actually, not even probably. Look at what Pickens is doing. He's lapping DK Metcalf's production right now. He has just as many receiving yards as all of our receivers combined. Insane. So that trade's looking bad. Worse than Steeler history? It's looking bad. It's definitely looking bad. Almost like the NFL history part of this. You do got to see how it plays out, but this is awful. For what we could have used Pickens for, at least in the short term, or at least for this year, it's bad, bro. It's definitely bad. Now, I think that's it. I did want to do one more topic, kind of in the same lines of what I just did with Pickens there, but I want to save it for tomorrow, actually. I'm ready to get my Thanksgiving going and celebrate Thanksgiving, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Got a fun topic, and who knows what else is going to pop up between now and then that I can go over. But, yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm signing off. Stay chilling. Peace.